Have you ever looked at a movie star glittering on the red carpet and thought, they have it all? What if I told you that the brightest stars often cast the darkest shadows? Today, we're diving into a story, a modern-day fable, inspired by the whispers and warnings from the heart of Hollywood. This is the tale of an actor who sold his soul for fame. Our story begins with Leo. Not his real name, of course. His real name was forgotten. Tucked away in a dusty small town he swore he'd never return to. Leo arrived in Los Angeles with nothing but a worn-out suitcase and a fire in his eyes. He slept in his car, ate instant noodles, and went to hundreds of auditions, facing rejection after rejection. The city was a machine, and it seemed determined to grind him down. He was just another face in a sea of hopefuls, another dreamer on the verge of waking up to a harsh reality. But Leo had something special, a raw, untamed talent. He could cry on cue, laugh with infectious joy, and rage with terrifying intensity. He just needed a chance, one single break, to show the world what he could do. One rainy Tuesday, after a particularly brutal audition, he found himself staring at his reflection in a grimy puddle. "I'd give anything," he whispered to the distorted face looking back at him. "Anything to make it." And in the surreal, neon-lit world of Hollywood, sometimes anything is exactly what it costs. And in the surreal, it was for a role he didn't even remember auditioning for. A small but pivotal part in a major blockbuster. The director, a legendary but notoriously difficult figure known as the Alchemist, had seen his tape. He saw the desperation, the hunger. He saw a blank canvas he could paint his masterpiece on. Leo was ecstatic. This was it, his big break. He didn't question the strange timing or the cryptic contract he barely read before signing. He was in. The film was a massive success. Critics raved about the mesmerizing new talent. Leo became an overnight sensation. Suddenly, the doors that were once slammed in his face swung wide open. He was on magazine covers, talk shows, and the most exclusive party lists. He moved from his car to a sprawling mansion in the hills, the city lights twinkling below like a kingdom he had conquered. He had everything he had ever dreamed of, but something felt ... off. For his next role, the Alchemist demanded more. "I need you to become this character," he'd say, his voice a low hiss. "Forget who you are. Leo doesn't exist anymore. Only the character." To play a grieving widower, Leo spent months in isolation, severing ties with his old friends, immersing himself in sorrow. He won an Oscar. The world applauded his dedication, his method, but when the filming wrapped, the sadness lingered. He couldn't shake it. It was like a piece of the character had latched onto his soul, and a piece of the real Leo had been chipped away. With every movie, the pattern repeated. To play a ruthless villain, he became cold and manipulative in his real life. His relationships crumbled. To play a tragic artist, he starved himself, physically and emotionally, chasing an authentic madness. He won another award. The public adored him, but the people who once knew him barely recognized the man behind the accolades. His laugh was hollow, his eyes distant. He was a collection of ghosts, of the characters he'd played, all warring for space inside him. He was losing himself. The boy from the small town, the one with the genuine smile and the simple dreams, was gone. In his place was a construct, a brand, a perfectly curated image of success. He had sold his vulnerability for invincibility, his joy for acclaim, his identity for fame. The Alchemist had been true to his name. He had turned Leo's raw talent into gold. But in the process, he had stripped away the human element, the very soul that made it precious. One night, standing on his balcony, overlooking the city that had given him everything and taken everything, Leo looked at his reflection in the glass. He didn't see the boy from the puddle anymore. He saw a stranger, his face a mask of success, his eyes empty. He had the world at his feet, but he was completely, utterly alone. He remembered his desperate whisper, "I'd give anything," and he realized with a chilling certainty that he had paid the ultimate price. This story, while fictional, echoes the cautionary tales we hear from Hollywood. It reminds us that behind the glitz and glamour, there's a human cost. Fame is a powerful, seductive force, and it can demand more than just your time and talent. It can demand your very essence. It's a stark reminder to be careful what you wish for, especially in a town built on dreams, because sometimes the price of making them come true is losing the person who had them in the first place. What do you think? Is this the inevitable price of superstardom, or is it possible to reach the top without losing yourself along the way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this story compelling, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Thanks for watching. Stay true to yourselves